Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, season 6, episode 33, titled Still Waiting on Timo's Contract. Practically the same title as last week. Still waiting. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios in a undisclosed location in the bunker and at the highest point of New Jersey, and Scotty's historical apartment where Michael J. Fox once resided before he was Michael J. Fox. He was Mike Fox. He was Mike Fox.
Mike Fox.
Yeah, Mike Fox. And nobody knew who he was.
I think Scotty.
So that's who that hoverboard belongs to in the garage that's been there for so many years.
Oh, yeah. Does it say Mattel on it?
Scotty, I think you would really appreciate getting those rent rates that Mike Fox had.
Yeah. If we can go back to those 1980s rates, that would be nice. That would be nice. That would be very, very nice.
I mean, gas is about equal to what it was in 1980s. So, maybe
we're down there. California's now number 2 in the country in highest gas prices. So that's a victory. Suck it, Washington.
Wow.
Yeah.
I figured Hawaii would be higher than you, but I was wrong.
Nope. Good old California, still around $5 a gallon. So yeah, when you pull up in New Jersey and someone pumps your gas for you, and it's only like $3.80 or $3.65 or something, you can think of me. $3.39, and I got to pump it myself out here.
Ugh. Yeah, I had to pump gas myself in Massachusetts last weekend. I was like, oh, this sucks. I'd rather have someone do it for me.
Oh man!
Well,
who's got this? $4.70 a gallon in Tacoma. Michael Discala up there. Yeah, I think the one down the street from me is. I think the one down the street from me is $4.89. So I mean, yeah, there's some ridiculous ones. So, like, there's like a mobile and a Shell station that are like $6. That's just. I don't know how they stay open because there's literally nobody in there all day long. Like, there's just nobody goes to that gas station.
You've got, in your area, you have a population of people where money is no object. Those are the people that they're catering to. The ones who send their people out to go fill their vehicle for them. Hey, go fill the vehicle before you come and pick me up. They're the ones that don't give a crap. They're the ones paying
the rest of the
$6.
people are homeless.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh well.
Oh
well, I feel you, Michael, there on YouTube.
Before we begin, we'll be at Enzo's on Wednesday, June 28th, 7 p.m. Eastern, for our annual draft day party. Even though we don't have a draft pick yet, I'm still holding out.
Hey, you never know.
Hey, with Fitzy, you never know, and these draft picks can lead to some really, what's the word I'm looking for? Pivotal, moves within the system. Look at the title of our show right here, Timo Meyer. If Fitzy didn't go ahead and somehow acquire 3 draft picks a few years ago and take Shakir Muhammadulin in the first round, Timo Meyer may not be on the Devils right now.
That's correct.
Ooh. Blake Coleman. Flipping Blake Coleman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. That was Tampa Bay. That was there. Right. We got Nolan Foote and the first rounder. Right.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And think about Dawson Mercer. That's the Taylor Hall trade. Right. Was that pick, or was that a different one?
That's a good question. I don't know. I can't remember which one.
I can't remember off the top of my head. But Muhammadulin, definitely. Timo Meyer wouldn't be on this team. Trading that first round asset, that pick, is what kind of sealed the deal for the San Jose Sharks. Getting that sort of a first round type player who has the potential to be on that blue line, to be a powerhouse on that blue line, on a team that, let's face it, is basically in the situation that the Devils were a few years ago, just down in the dumps and on the bottom. of the league, and you got to rebuild. If you're going to do it the right way, you're going to do it the right way. And, them getting that along with the Hellebuyck and Zetterlund, those are nice pieces, but Mohamedulin was the prize of that deal. Will he come over from Russia and play? We'll see. That's not our problem anymore. Have fun with it, San Jose,
I think he was supposed to. I think he was trending towards yes. He was coming here this coming season.
I think so, but you never know.
I know.
Well, it's not our problem anymore. I mean, I can say
it's not.
All night.
It's not our problem.
We just need an 8-year
now
deal.
Timo's our problem.
Yeah, we just need an 8-year deal. And
it's coming.
Speaking of deals,
it's coming. I feel like it's coming.
Speaking of deals, we did get a few this week for the New Jersey Devils. One of them being Erik Haula, who was kind of a divisive player throughout the season, and then by the time the playoffs wrapped up, everybody was on the Erik Haula train there. I think you got to say, but I think this is a really, really good signing by Fitzy, locking him in 3 years. Doesn't really break the bank. It's a $9 million contract. It goes down over each season. So the next season will be his highest paid at 3.9 or something like that. Then it goes 3.1 and then it's 2 something, I believe, after that. But what he brings to the table, really, it's hard to replace. It's hard to find, I think the first thing that you have to think of is playoff experience. On this team with so many young people, Erik Haula, 8 out of 9 years that he's been in the league, he's been in the playoffs. Yeah, he's got an insane amount of playoff experience there that this team is just now, starting to get into that mode of being a perennial, playoff team. But Jack Hughes loves him. All right. He's got the respect of the locker room. And he's a guy that plays 5-on-5. PK, PP, face-off circle. I was actually looking at some notes here. I didn't even realize this, but the Devils overall as a team, the three-headed monster of Nico, Mikey, and Erik Haula got them in 5th place overall in the league with something 50-some percent face-off percentage. And Haula himself was 13th overall in the league. That's
great.
On his regular season numbers. That's a huge thing right there. Face-off circles is one of those unsung, battles of the hockey world that doesn't get a lot of, press and hype and everything like that. And Erik Haula dominated.
Yeah, the face-off is kind of one of those things in hockey where it happens so often, and it's such like a background thing where it's like, all right, well, it's, face-off to start off. It's kind of like that anticipation of, all right, well, let's just drop the puck and get the game going. And people don't really realize how important that face-off is. And Erik Haula did very well. The key thing that you said there, though, was that Jack loved playing with Haula. And if Jack gives you his vote of confidence with this New Jersey Devils team, that's it. Like, you're in. That's all the front office needs to hear. And I do know that the story was that Haula basically went to Fitzy and said, I want to be here. Let's find a way to keep me here. Which is a guy that doesn't want to be there for the money. It's a guy that wants to be there because he sees something building in the locker room. And that's the type of guy you want. And I've said this before, but when he played with Jack, he gave Jack that freedom to go up and be Jack while he was that defensive forward that can let Jack go streaking up and would cover that defensive play that Jack was going to be streaking back for. But Haula was the guy that was going to be able to play that defensive role until Jack got there and was comfortable doing that, which is not always easy. Covering 2 men because your top guy's busting his butt to get back. But it was a great signing. I was happy to have it. And then Sam Wu came out with the fake news that we all were crapping on Haula all season in our group text, and we're all like, no.
I think a lot of Devils fans.
Sam was stirring the pot.
Sam Wu loves stirring that pot. He's the greatest heel in the history of hockey Twitter. But I think a lot of Devils fans were frustrated with the point production of Erik Haula in the beginning of the season.
Yes.
And rightfully so. He was snake bitten on many, many times, but he did end the season with 41 points. Now imagine if he can, next year coming back, being a little bit more comfortable in the system, working with maybe Jack Hughes a little bit more. And we all know that Jack, he's still finding his feet in that face-off circle. So Haula being able to step in there for him on a lot of occasions definitely helped out. But, could Erik Haula break that 50 points, next season? That would be something. And thank you, Zachary Gioella. Oh, hey, it's Gioella over here. Hey, for the super chat. We'll talk about old Hellebuyck here in a little bit. Dave Singer, there you go. Hall is a former.
List to talk about.
Hall is a former 29 goal scorer. I mean, yeah,
he's got the skill.
He's got the skill, and the face-off circle, the 5-on-5, the power play, the penalty kill. He also had 2 shorthanded goals this year. Nico had 3 to lead the team, but Mercer and Erik Haula both had 2 shorthanded goals. And don't forget, in the playoffs, like we talked about, Erik Haula with that playoff experience. Who had goals against the Rangers in pivotal Game 5 and Game 7? Erik Haula did. So when the rest of the team was struggling, we know our big guns like Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier, and Timo Meyer were struggling to put the puck in the net. We found some secondary scoring from Erik Haula. And we all know when Sam Wu decided to get his autograph stick from his season ticket representative as his gift for renewing.
He was surprised.
He took off.
Yeah, I mean, the Severson stick was on the table.
We know you're not getting that. We know you weren't taking that.
I think Palat's stick was on the table as well. I mean, there were some pretty good names. And I said Haula. I still haven't received the stick yet, but I said Haula, but yeah, and that's what happened. And I'm also in the summertime, I'm searching all the anti-Haula sentiment archives in the first 40 games. Why is Haula playing with Jack Hughes? Why is he on the second line? And then I can dispel the fake news rumors of that group text.
So Sam, I think the reason why you're still waiting on your Haula stick is because he was on the list and everyone's like, no one's going to ask for that. And then you come around and ask for it and they were like, oh, crap. Now we have to go hunt down Erik Haula and get him to sign something. There are already about 15,000 signed
I already
Jack
have
sticks.
it in with the Hall of Family. I spoke to Eric's wife once in the elevator.
Hey, there you go.
She asked me who that guy was, and I said his name is Bryce Salvador.
Hey,
and you know what?
That's all you need.
Just as Shorts guy was saying over here, after the re-signing, let's just read this. Okay, this is from Jack Hughes himself. I am a huge Erik Haula fan. He came in and he did a great job for us, providing that leadership and experience. There's a difference between being in the locker room and being a voice and then not backing it up. He's a guy that's been a gamer for us, pretty much played all the games all year. He's fighting, he's scoring, he's penalty killing, he's on the power play. He's just a character guy, and he fit in really well in our locker room. That's a guy we should bring back for sure. When 86 says that about you, that's some big points right there.
It's bromance.
And that's what's also really great about that is that's a young kid saying that about a guy that's been around the league for a while. That to me is another incredible thing about that quote. That's showing the type of leader that Jack is and the way he has, Erik Haula has commanded Jack's respect, but Jack has that type of respect to be able to talk about these guys that have been around the league like that. And to give these glowing compliments and people listen to Jack and it seems like, Jack is listening to Haula, which means that Jack is also willing to continue to learn, which is what we want. We want Jack to continue to grow and to learn and not just be, oh, I'm Jack Hughes, I don't have to listen to anyone. What I say goes. Like, he's giving respect and commanding respect from these guys, which is phenomenal.
And there's also a second part of this quote here. It says, Erik Haula is a mean grill master, and I love the steaks he cooks for me. Better than Ty Smith. That's what it says over here.
Sorry, Ty.
Just kidding.
You've been replaced.
Kidding at that last part. Just kidding at that last part. Oh, man, my boy Jungle Boy just turned heel. He just turned Sam Wu. Taking out Hook. Sorry, I got a little AEW Forbidden Door on here in the background, everybody. But yeah, Erik Haula, I think, is a smart play there. Like I said, doesn't break the bank. 3 years, not a very long-term investment right there. Can always re-sign him again after that. And yeah, I think it's a really, really wise deal with just everything that he brings to the table and looking for an even more complete year from him without maybe a little scoring drought that happened in the beginning of the season. This guy could be pushing 50 points on a third line like that, hopping up and down between the second, maybe, got some good stuff for this team and the locker room, mentality and leadership there. It's, you can't put a price on that.
It's also showing that he sees the potential that this team has in the next couple of years, that he would want to stay here and work a contract that was favorable for the team and for himself to be here, because this is a guy that wants to win the cup. And he sees, like we all see, that this is the makings of a team that's going to be a perennial playoff team. However, there's something that he's also seeing, and, he's been around the league for a little while. And he wants to be here, which is what we want. We want players to be here. And he's going to be a big piece, because this young team is going to need some leadership when we get into that second, third, and eventually Stanley Cup final round of the playoffs, whether it's next year or the year after. And he can bring us that. He can bring us that experience.
Haula was not 86th. Oh, Dave Singer going with the restaurant terms over there. Steve Engel, Haula can steam some mean broccoli. Okay, all right, fair enough.
Oh man, I thought he was going to go at
a saute it.
I thought he was going to go at a Simpsons reference there, that he can steam a mean ham, but nope. No. I heard it's a Utica term.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I guess that kind of works as a nice little segue into the other signing that the Devils made this week, and that's with their associate coach.
Yeah.
Travis Greene, former player, former AHL coach for the Utica Comets. And former head coach over there with Vancouver. And correct me if I'm wrong, is there someone with the last name Hughes that he was coaching? I can't. Was there someone with the last name Hughes up there in Vancouver as well?
Yes, there might be. There's at least one of them over there who should be on the Devils. So let's see if we can drag him here.
You know where else Travis Greene finished his playing career and where he spent some of his coaching career?
Switzerland. A Swiss connection. Interesting. We have a couple important Swiss players on this team.
Yeah. Do you know who he played with on 3 different teams?
I don't know. Enlighten me. Oh, wow. What a connection. What a connection. Well. Huh.
I thought this was a good move as well.
Yeah. I mean, it sucked to see Burnett go. It was going to be tough to keep Burnett, but bringing Greene in, I think, is going to be a great move for this team, because we're going to need someone there to fill those shoes of Burnett. I think Greene will do that. He's got those connections like you're talking about, and that's going to help us going forward in a big way. The Devils just seem to be making good move after good move after good move, and this is such a breath of fresh air after what we've dealt with for the last couple of seasons. Last couple off seasons especially, we were just so full of, well, who are we going to pick? Who are we going to pick? What are we going to do? Now we don't even have a pick in the first round, and we're talking about signings that are improving our already great team that are going to make us even better. This is just so much more fun than the last couple of years to talk about this in more of a positive light than kind of like maybe this season we'll crack 500, maybe. Well, I'm curious who we're going to get in the top 10 this off season. It's like, holy crap. Like now we're making moves that are going forward, like launching this team forward, and making us that really good playoff team, which we all know is there.
Yeah. And some really good things, I'm, talking about Lindy's, take on it. He says, Travis, energy and engaging, which is always good, especially for young teams. And I love this that he said this too. I won't forget what it means to be a player. I think sometimes coaches can maybe get a little too hard sometimes on these players. And, like that was one of his mainstays. I'm not going to forget what it means to actually be a player in the NHL and to go out there on the ice, night in, night out, give it all your effort in practice, everything else like that. I think that's a great way to connect, especially with the younger generation, which the Devils have. And his time in Utica before they were the Devils affiliate, they were with Vancouver, his head coaching time in there for, 4+ years. The power play was up and down while he was there. We're not going to sugarcoat that, but he did work with one Quinn Hughes. And, there was some good stuff at times on that power play, which we know for whatever reasons struggled with Burnett. Even though we all love Burnett, that power play did struggle at times during this season and in the playoffs. So we're going to see what Travis Greene can bring to it, but just all the connections all around to Fitzy, the Swiss connections. I was unaware of that. I was just reading up on some of the articles, and I had no idea that he finished his playing career over there and then ended up coaching for a while as well with the Swiss team. So that's all cool stuff, man. And with so many of these, with Timo, that's another factor that could help, bring back a Timo Meyer, not on the break the bank type of contract, but with Nico and Akira Schmid and Siegenthaler, all those connections, man, that means a lot. That means a lot for this team. And just very happy with these two signings overall.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you look at all these pieces and you go, okay, there's no way that Fitzgerald didn't do his homework and really look into the people he was going to hire or bring in and look at these connections. I mean, that playing career connection, like when you play with players, you always kind of have that special connection when you play with someone for a bunch of years. But all those other X factors, working with Quinn Hughes, being in Switzerland, knowing the Swiss culture like that, coaching in Switzerland, like these are the things that like Fitzgerald looks at whenever he brings anyone in. Not only are they going to be a good asset for this team, but are they going to fit in with the culture of this team? What are they going to bring? What are the non-hockey things, which you can say playing and coaching in Switzerland is a non-hockey thing. That's a cultural thing for some of our bigger guys. He looks to these non-hockey things, and it just he doesn't just bring in the best people. He brings in the best fitting people, which is what you want for long-term success. Because you can bring we bring them up often because we like to make fun of them. But when you look at the blue team across the river, they just like to bring in good people or the best players, in air quotes. And it doesn't work in hockey. It doesn't always work in hockey. Whereas Fitzgerald is more measured and bringing in the right pieces that'll fit this puzzle for what we want to do long term. And he's doing that, and he's doing a damn good job at it.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. And just with all these, and I loved it too. Greene said, going to New Jersey, a no-brainer. Looking at what we have in the pipeline at the NHL level right now, the excitement of all the young kids and getting to work with them, the idea of everything that could potentially happen on a successful power play unit, with Timo now, hopefully in the fold long term, Nico and Jack really just, obviously excelling into superstar mode this year. Bringing in Luke as well now, adding him onto the point. Woof.
Yeah,
baby. They are going to be nasty, You know, like, I mean, they have the potential to be. They really have the potential to be, but they have to
They
put it
do.
together.
Yeah. We're becoming a destination team. Like it's a
Yes.
team that is on the up and up, and people want to be here. I was looking at something the other day, and it was talking about the potential of the rookie class for this season and the Calder Trophy race for this season. And obviously Bedard is there, but I think it was like it was like a top 5 or top 10 list. Must have been like a top 10 list. I should have saved it. But there was Luke and Nemec was on that list of potential Calder Trophy players, and it's looking at that going, holy crap! Like we've got these 2 potential stud defensemen that are going to be playing for us this season. But not only that, the Devils have 2 players in a race for a prestigious rookie trophy, and we've won the Calder Trophy before. You know, Brodeur won it. Gomez won it too, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Gomez won it. Brodeur won it. Gomez won it. I think Brodeur won it, if I'm correct. But either way,
I think so.
But it's probably going to be Bedard, like before he even steps 1 foot on the ice, who's going to win the Rookie of the Year. But just the fact that we have players that are in that conversation of being top rookie players going into the season, man, this is just going to be a fun season to be a Devils fan. We thought this past season was a good time. I think this coming season is going to be a really good time. And either I froze or Scotty froze, and I don't even know. Sammy, are you there, Sam? Hey.
Oh, I'm here.
All right. Looks like Scotty was so stunned by what I said and how fun it's going to be a Devils fan that he's frozen in time.
I think so.
Wow.
Or maybe he went back to the future.
Maybe he did go back to the future.
Yeah.
Yes. We know Scotty. Anyway, so Sam, it's going to be a good season to be a Devils fan because we're going to have a lot of good players coming in. We're going to have the Rookie of the Year battle, even though it's probably going to be Connor Bedard. But
well, you never know.
I don't know, man.
You never know. I mean, Chicago's building.
It's true. You never know because even though he's going to be great or he's supposed to be great, you never know. We may have players that are more important to the team this year, but the fact that we have players in that conversation, I think, is phenomenal. And the fact that we're being talked about again, like the Devils are being talked about as an important team, which is, it's been so long, and I'm so happy we're back in these conversations.
Oh yeah, I mean, remember back in the day when we started this podcast, we were just like dragging. Like,
yeah,
Devils lost again. They lost 17 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing's happening. Yeah, Bobby Farnham is our best player.
Oh, man,
remember those days?
I mean, I just remember the first time that you and I went and did any kind of podcast. It was you just invited me over to complain about the team. Like that's how bad.
That's how the Let's Go Devils podcast started.
I know, it's wild, but here we are with a good team again. This is gonna be great. Yeah, Scotty's back.
All right.
Spectrum Internet.
Woo!
Did you go to the year 2015? Did Miami win the World Series? Or was it Chicago?
I forget. I have to watch those movies.
Oh, they're great.
I know. They are great.
Oh, I watched Office Space the other day, Scotty.
All right.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
I'm catching up.
Is that your first time watching that?
I think it's the second time. I think the first time.
Oh, my gosh, Sam.
Hey, your name's Michael Bolton? Because I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan. I got his entire catalog.
Oh, I love the music that he was listening to in the car.
The Bobs.
Oh.
That's a fantastic
Nahasa
movie.
Pina not going to work here anymore.
That's Mike Judge, post Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. I should rewatch it. It's been a while. I have that movie somewhere on DVD. I have to watch it on DVD
again. Too. Yeah,
it's been a while.
I think it's on. I think I saw it somewhere on like HBO Max or Prime Video or something like that. It's up there somewhere streaming.
I'm gonna have to watch.
It's such a good movie.
I know. It really is.
Man. You slept with Lumberg? Yeah, Sam. I'm gonna need you to come in on the weekend. Yeah. Oh man. So what were we talking about before I froze here?
Oh, we were talking about how the Devils are now good again.
A destination. That's right. Yeah.
A destination. We were talking about the potential rookie battles. The Devils having two players, two defensemen in that potential rookie battle. Even though it's, more than likely everyone's going to want to vote Connor Bedard before he steps on the ice, but you never know. It could potentially go something else, but we should see the hopefully the NHL debut of Nemec coming in from the beginning of the season. And then Luke Hughes continuing to do what Luke Hughes finished the season doing.
Yep.
And building on that. I don't know. It's this team's exciting. And we're like we were mentioned earlier, it's a destination team and players want to be here. Coaches want to be here. Sounds like Timo wants to be here. Just got to make that contract work for him and the team.
Sounds like Connor Hellebuyck wants to be here as well now.
That's what I heard too. What a transition.
Thank you, Michael. Office Space is on Max, so there you go.
Nice.
Sorry.
What do you got, Sam?
Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, remember there was a period of time where coaches didn't want to come here? Laviolette didn't want to go through a rebuilding process. There were a couple of them that just spurned the Devils, and then but Lindy took on the challenge.
Yeah,
during a pandemic, no less. So they've come a long way. I mean, ever since Fitzgerald took control over this team, it's everything. Yeah. Everything he's touched is going in the right direction. He's not perfect. I mean, a couple contracts, and you can make the argument Palat is a little bit too much. But there's rarely
Bernier, Crawford. Yeah, there's been a couple things here and there, but
he figured out the goalie situation.
Well, so all right. So we had someone.
Let's get
here,
into it.
Yeah, someone here. I can't remember who it was. Oh, it was Zachary from his super chat. Which thank you again, Zach. We truly do appreciate all those. He's saying we should bring in Hellebuyck for a year. I don't know if Hellebuyck is going to do that.
No, he wants an extension.
Yeah, I think he wants an extension.
Is he 30 at this point?
30.
Yes.
He is 30.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he wants an extension. He wants somewhere where he's going to be for a little while.
And he's looking for Vasilevsky numbers there, like 10 million a season. Like I don't.
That's Bob numbers.
I don't see it. Like, I just don't see it, that's a lot of money to be tying up in a goalie already 30. I mean, yeah, he's really good, but go ahead, Sam. Yeah.
I'm the same way, but I figured it out why it would work. Hear me out. The past two teams. Well, let me start by this. One of the biggest fears of giving Hellebuyck 10 million for 7-8 years.
6 years. Say 6 or 8 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fear of injury and the fear that he's on the back nine of his career. Right? That's the biggest fear. The injury part, goalies start to break down,
Yes, we
you
do.
may get the first 2 years, and then 33, 34, the hips start to go. I mean, we experienced this with Schneider. However, just like the Golden Knights and the Tampa Bay Lightning, they play the LITR game. And I'm wondering, with Schmid still with the Devils in the system, whatnot, that could they be a tandem? And how you fit Hellebuyck, just hear me out, you would have to trade Mackenzie Blackwood and Vanacek. That immediately takes at least $5 million off the books. The cap's going up $4 million. That could be, at least the short term, how you fit him with that cap. I'm stretching it here, but
I know. No, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
I'm thinking outside the box. I'm trying to be a heel here.
Yeah.
You're trying to no. You're trying to be, make things work here. I mean, there's the ideas of, well, first off, Hellebuyck is, he wants a long-term deal. So that may cause friction, when we do need to re-sign a Dawson Mercer, when we do need to re-sign a Simone Nemec, a Luke Hughes as well. There's a couple of names there on that list that are going to have some pretty big importance for this team. And probably going to get a significant raise, especially with Luke, with his bro there. I don't know when Quinn's contract is up, but don't be surprised if they're looking at that as well along down the road. Hellebuyck, if it was like a $6 million deal that he was looking for, I think I would jump all over it. But like $10 million is just a lot of money, especially
it is.
With the potential of Akira Schmid here and the Swiss connection with everybody, and, wanting to get Timo re-signed, who we know is going to cost a pretty penny as well. I just don't, I don't know. As much as I would love to have someone with the word hell in their name, play for the New Jersey Devils, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would really, really love that. But yeah, maybe if he was like 27, 28, just a little bit younger, it might be able to convince me, but at that price, it just seems like too much.
It is too much, and I think Connor Hellebuyck is a great goalie, and I would love to see
goalie, fantastic goalie.
I would love to see him on our team as our goalie, and I'm trying to. All right, come on, work here. Yeah, with his age, like he doesn't have a lot of years left, and he probably, if it's true that we are a destination team for him, it's because he knows he needs to win, and he needs to win now, and he sees us as a potential of a team that could win now. If he were to come here, I think that at 30, he's missed his Vasi money years. Like you said, 28, 27. Okay, maybe you could do like 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, and then start to do the decline for the back 3 years of a 6-year deal. But at 30, it's a risk at 30. I mean,
yeah,
a 3-year deal, and he's got one more year till he's a UFA. So you would have to basically you would have to extend him almost immediately. So that means we would have to have him at least either a 2-year deal after this coming season when he becomes a UFA, or a 3-year deal, which would give us 4 years with him. But you want Akira Schmid to also start to blossom as well, because if Akira Schmid can build on what he's shown us this whole season, not just the playoffs, which everyone's loving his playoff performance. We saw him all season do what he did. Akira Schmid's got something there. If Hellebuyck could come here at a reasonable number, I would say, okay, let's entertain this idea. But to get Vasi money, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one, especially like you said, trying to bring in Timo. Dawson Mercer is going to need a raise. Nemec is going to need a raise. Luke Hughes is going to need a raise. But maybe a 3-year deal may be the extent of time that Hellebuyck would come here for. That would be reasonable for us and for him. I know he's going to want longer. He's going to want longer. I guarantee it. But I think a 3-year deal with Hellebuyck, I don't know about $9.5 million like Vasi's making, and definitely not 10 like Bob. But man, if you were to bring him in, maybe 3. I got to look if we can even fit this. Well, if he wants to win if he wants to win and win with us, he may have to come here for 3. Then figuring out after that.
If it's 3 years, that's a different story, because then he's here for technically 4 with the 1 year left on his contract now. And, that'll bring him to age 34, which, see, it's tough though, man. You get one hip injury like Corey Schneider. And
I know.
The LIDR. The LITR
Trust me,
game.
I know. But the league is starting to come down hard on the LITR stuff. Like they were asking for with the Mark Stone injury, they were asking for paperwork upon paperwork just to make sure that Mark Stone was legitimately out for the season. So I think the days of Tampa Bay winning a cup because they put their, oh man, he stubbed his toe, he's going to go on LTIR. Oh, look, game 1, he's back. It's miraculous. I think that those days of Tampa fleecing the system with the LTIR is over. So, which also, at that point, we'd be rooting for a guy to get injured. And you don't want to be rooting for an injury because that's kind of a really beat thing to be doing. And I would hate to be doing that. Fitzgerald is smart enough to have that conversation. If Hellebuyck's people are calling Fitzgerald's smart enough to be able to have that conversation, be like, hey, this is what we got. This is what I need to fit. These are the possibilities. You guys call me back. And that's the trust that I have with Fitzgerald. That he's not going to do a snap signing on just Hellebuyck because he wants to come here and he's a good goalie. Hellebuyck's at 30, he's got 4 years.
This is what you should do.
Let's hear it.
Now, hear me out here. I could be wrong because I don't know the rules that inside out, but I've seen some deals like this. 4 years with a team option of 5. No, 4 years. Stick to 4 years, 9.5. You front load that contract, but the average AAV is 9.5. So he's tradable years 3 and 4 because another team takes the cap hit, but they don't pay as much out of their pockets.
Yeah, but that's to say that he also, I mean, he may have no trade, clauses and stuff
no,
like that.
No trade clause means the price goes down.
Okay. All right.
You don't get,
I like
you don't
it,
get
Mr.
a
Negotiator. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
See, you can call me Sam Fitzgerald right now.
Now, is this 9.5 in Woo Bucks or in U.S. currency? Which one is this? Money
I'm talking all Woo Bucks here.
All Woo Bucks?
Like
okay.
I said, I don't know all the rules on the other side. But if it were up to me, it'd be Woo Bucks on the table and under the table. And he doesn't have to pump his own gas here.
It's true. It's true. He doesn't. And it's a little bit more bearable in the winter here than it is Winnipeg.
Taxes are better in New Jersey compared to Winnipeg. I don't know about that, but I'm not sure.
One of my favorite bands is out of Winnipeg too, so he's not going to be able to see them live locally anymore. Although I doubt Connor Hellebuyck is going to go see Comeback Kid anytime soon in Winnipeg.
Now, Dave Singer is saying that you can't have both Timo and Hellebuyck at the same time at the number that I just. Well, there's got to be.
If anyone could do it, Fleece Gerald could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason why it could work is because we have Nico, Marino, Jack Hughes, all tied up on very, very, team-friendly contracts over there.
Plus Severson and Graves most likely would be off the books, and you're replacing with 2 entry-level contracts. There's some significant savings there.
Yeah. And Luke and Nemec, they're gonna be on their rookie contracts for a little bit, but you will eventually have to, pay them some money.
This is also the last season coming up that we have to pay the $2 million buyout payment for Corey Schneider. So that comes off the books.
Yeah, the Kovalchuk stuff comes off the books too. Finally,
yeah,
I think there's 1 more year. I think it's 2 more years for that.
2 more years for that. It's Quokkanen that comes off the books after this coming season as well. That's $2.3 million. And in reality, the Kovalchuk stuff is $250,000. That's peanuts comparatively to what we're looking at.
Oh, right. I'm thinking it's $2.5 million. Yeah, you're right.
No, it's $250,000. It's peanuts.
Yeah,
that could pay part of Lazar's salary. That's a quarter of Lazar's salary.
So Akira Schmid is an RFA in 24-25, so we have to be able to keep him as well. It's one of those things where it's like we have to start thinking long term with him, along with people like Dawson Mercer. Let's see, Dawson Mercer. Here we go. Dawson Mercer, entry level 24-25. He's currently at the 894. Yeah, we we got to think of these things going long term. But Fitzgerald can also do in the negotiations. Let's say he's talking to Hellebuyck's people. If Hellebuyck really wants to win that badly and wants to come here, everything is in Fitzgerald's hands.
Yeah.
Like Hellebuyck could want all this money, and Fitzgerald could be like, "All right, well, we already have 2 competent goalies. We have one that's an up and comer. We have one that had a career season in wins and got us to the playoffs last year. So, do we absolutely need a goalie here in New Jersey? No, we absolutely don't. Would it be good to improve our goaltending? Yeah, absolutely, it would. But are we desperate in need of a goaltender? No, we're not by any means.
Dave Singer, I got to explain it to you. You have to get rid of Blackwood and Vanacek. Their salaries off the cap, plus the $4 million you're getting extra. That's the only way you can get Hellebuyck.
Mm-hmm.
And Hellebuyck has got to come down from his 9.5 just a little bit.
He's going to have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where I
Hellebuyck
found the money. I didn't look at the whole
needs to be more in like
but
the 7-ish range, but I don't know if he's going to do that.
If he wants to win, if the guy wants to win, that's the thing. And Fitzgerald's going to have to tell Hellebuyck and his people, like, listen, if you want to win, this number's not going to work for this team, and we have goaltenders, and we don't need you. So, good luck finding another team that's ready to win and needs a goalie at the same time.
At 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
At 9.5, that can, yeah.
I
don't know. I think it's too much. If he comes down a little bit in the years and the overall number, then maybe it's doable. But I think on what he's looking for right now, I think it's just too much. I think it's too much.
It is way too much. And I know I have full faith and confidence that Fitzgerald's going to make the right decision for this team.
Yeah.
And it may be telling the Hellebuyck's people to be like, yep, thanks, but no thanks. We have goaltenders. We're good to go. Good luck finding a team.
It's called leverage.
We have it. The leverage is on our side.
And we don't know what's going to happen either. Like, listen, injuries happen every year in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what's going to happen. So I don't know. I can't see Fitzy pulling the trigger on this now. Maybe next year, like during the season. See how if Vanacek is really struggling, if Akira Schmid takes a step backwards or something like that, maybe they look into it. But to give up on Vanacek and Akira Schmid like that right now, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of these situations where if the deal is right and it's good for the team, okay, you go and make it. Because does Connor Hellebuyck improve this team? Yes. Connor Hellebuyck improves this team.
Definitely.
If it's not in the team's best interest as far as numbers and contract length, then as much as Connor Hellebuyck can help this team, this deal is not worth it in the least. So this is one of those things where we have all of the leverage. If Hellebuyck really wants out of Winnipeg and really wants to win, because if you think about it throughout the league, what other team is going to need a goaltender that can win in the next 3 years?
Vegas.
That's the team that I thought of, but my guess is they're going to sign Aiden Hill.
Yeah,
he's going to become the next. What the hell is his name from Chicago?
Corey Crawford.
I can't think of his
Corey Crawford.
No, not Corey Crawford, because Corey Crawford had lasting power.
Ed Belfour.
Niemi. He's going to become the next Niemi. Although our guest last week, Sean Burke, would probably disagree. But what other teams that are able to win now or win relatively soon are really in desperate need of a goaltender. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Minnesota. They're in a decent position to win soon. Off the top of my head, Edmonton. But whereas Edmonton can't fit $9 million for a goaltender, that's going to be Edmonton's problem for years to come. They're front loaded on contracts on the front end, and they have nothing left for the most important position on the ice, and that's the goaltender. Which is why Edmonton's going to continue to fail, and they have not had a good goaltender since Grant Fuhr.
Ouch.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna look, but for the Devils, I love the idea that Hellebuyck is interested because, like we said, we're now that destination type of team. Everyone can see the writing on the wall. You got players like Erik Haula who are saying the same thing. You got coaches like Travis Greene coming in here and saying the same thing. They made a statement this year with their run in the playoffs. Yeah, they didn't do so well in the second round against Carolina, but it's a learning experience for them.
Yes.
And finishing where they finished in the regular season, most points for the franchise, most wins for the franchise. Vanacek breaking 30 wins. That's the only other goalie to do that was some guy named Brodeur. No other goalie in the history of the New Jersey Devils. Yeah, he did okay.
He did okay. He did okay.
But we know Vanacek struggled in the playoffs, but Akira Schmid really stepped up and started to look like the goaltender of the future there. So
yeah,
it's tough. The Hellebuyck thing, I'm just gonna say, yeah, it would make us a lot better, but in the long run, it may cause a lot of issues.
Yeah. And I'm convinced that the Vanacek thing when the playoffs is potentially just a mental thing that he can improve on. Because it's twice in the playoffs where he's fizzled out in the playoffs. Once with us, once with Washington. So
Carolina, that's another good one. That could use a goalie.
Carolina could use a goalie too. Yeah, but do they have the cap space though? Let me look that up real quick.
I think they're going to make some. I think they're going to make some changes over there.
They have to.
Montreal, but Montreal is not ready to win right now.
Let's bring this up. Cap friendly. Blah 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 blah.
The Avalanche. That'd be a good one.
That's a team I didn't think of that needs a goaltender. That's good. That could win quickly. Where is Carolina? Carolina. I wish I could find them on my list. Oh, they're right above us. They've got a current cap space of $21 million. Yeah, I think they would potentially be. So if we don't sign Connor Hellebuyck and Connor Hellebuyck can angle a trade, we're potentially seeing him in our division. They do have Kochekov signed for 4 years at $2 million, but Anderson and Ranta are free agents as of this season. So yeah, Carolina would probably be a landing point for him if we don't take him, and he can get that trade out of Winnipeg. But Winnipeg's going to want a goaltender in return. There's no way a Winnipeg's going to send him and be like, yeah, we're going to just take your scraps. Because without a goaltender, Winnipeg's screwed. He's probably the only reason that Winnipeg made the playoffs.
Yeah, you could say that.
So,
well, we'll see what happens, but I don't know. I don't see Fitzy, going all in like that, especially when you're going to have two rookie defensemen back there probably this year. With, let's face it, Luke Hughes and Nemec are going to be very good, but they're going to go through some growing pains next season.
Yeah. Especially when we don't need it. It's not like an absolute need right now. If it was a need, it would be different. But we don't absolutely need a Connor Hellebuyck right now as we stand.
If this was 2025, the year of the Woo, then it might be a different story. Because we all know Sam Wu has correctly predicted that the Devils will win the Cup in 2025.
That's true.
I'm like The Simpsons.
Ann was backed up. Anyway, Sam was backed up by what was that, FanDuel or whatever that put out that prediction of the Devils winning in 2025, back-to-back cups. Yes. I believe they predicted.
Yeah,
but I think they also predicted Florida was going to win this year. So that kind of shoots that list to hell. Right away.
They Grant Marshalled it.
They did Grant Marshall it. I almost Grant Marshalled it myself, but I didn't.
We should have a night with Grant Marshall.
Oh boy!
On stage, unfiltered.
We'll have to be running that one on tape delay. Won't be
seriously.
live. It'll be like a 30-second delay on that one.
It'll just be live. It won't be live. It'll just be live.
Yeah. You hear a lot of
just no. Just do what they do on Sirius over by you, Scotty. Just put an XL next to that week's episode.
Yeah. I'll take care of everything.
Yes, just put that XL there. Little disclaimer. Done. But I think if people read that Grant Marshall's on there, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's probably gonna be pretty bad this week.
TVMA.
Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you guys. Remember when we played Shorts Guy's rendition of that song?
Yes.
With Arlette.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Get flagged.
It actually got copyright flagged in two different. I was like, you've got to be kidding me! I thought it was bad enough.
See, you know what the copyright flag was for?
What?
Is the algorithm came up to the algorithm. The algorithm's like, oh, that's terrible. We have to flag these guys for ruining the song.
I thought you were gonna say it got flagged because of the performance.
Oh no. No, it got flagged for ruining the song. Holy hell, I did terrible. Hey, but I didn't see anyone else. I didn't see any other of you guys on stage. I was up there. I didn't give a crap. I was up there. I was trying.
Yeah, I was like, Shorts Guy, Arlette wants to talk to you.
Hey.
But I filmed it.
I know you filmed it, but you weren't up there singing. I was at least trying. I gave it a shot.
That's true.
I gave it a shot.
That was a fun moment.
It was a fun moment. That was a good time. For as bad as my vocals are and actually trying to legitimately sing, it was a ton of fun to be there with Arlette at a Stagehouse Tavern there.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to sing at Pasta Grill by Enzo's in Hackettstown?
No, I am. I am not. I am not. But at Enzo's on Wednesday, you can see me in person along with Sam Wu and some of the Hockey on Tap guys to discuss some hockey and the draft. And Scotty, I'm hoping that you'll be able to come in at some point live, virtually maybe. And what we're hoping for is that Tampa makes some really dumb moves and we can watch Schwim kind of lose his mind. And what I would love to see is do the Rangers have first round pick? I would love to see the Rangers make another Hugh Jessamine style pick this season and annoy Billy Dean. And then Steven and I can sit there and watch them lose their minds over dumb stuff.
Also, I could show you I was telling Shorts Guy and Scotty earlier this afternoon that George Washington, yes, the real George Washington back in the 1700s, used to hang out at Enzo's before it was Enzo's over 200 years ago. I got to show you the basement. I got to show you the basement.
I do want to see that. Yeah, no, I truly do want to see that.
There's actually it looks like a jail cell, like where they used to hold the lobster backs or the redcoats.
So, just so you know, Sam,
in
the time period in which George Washington would have been there, Enzo's was located in Sussex County.
Really?
Because Sussex and Warren County were one large giant county up until 1824.
That's
And that
right.
and in 1824, Warren County split off, became its own county, the Western County of Warren County. But up until 1824, that was all Sussex County. So George Washington was technically in Sussex County, not Warren County.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And he used to ride on King George's Highway back in the day, and that's and plus the Delaware River is
over there.
It's about 25 minutes driving wise. Back in those days, I don't know what the, but when George Washington was there, he's like, this is the place to have a draft party 200 years from now.
Yes, I'm sure he was thinking just that.
Yeah. So for all you history buffs that are Devils fans, come out June 28th at 1916 Route 57, beautiful Hackettstown, New Jersey, in the heart of Warren County and the heart of old Sussex County, New Jersey. There you go.
Very cool.
I wouldn't call it the heart. I'd call it the far-flung western region of Sussex County. Sorry, I'm going to correct you on this historical stuff, Sam.
I'm a revisionist,
We can tell. We can tell.
George Washington stayed there. He had a couple biscuits. He told his men, take him down to the cellar. Yeah, if you go down to the cellar, Shorts guy, I'll show you.
You're going to have to show me.
Yeah,
You're going to have to show me on Wednesday.
We're going to have tours at Enzo's.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I was like very impressed. And it doesn't flood down there too, which I was also very impressed.
Which is good.
Yeah. All right. Well, sorry, Scotty. I guess we're going off tangent. You got anything to add about Enzo's?
So I've never been there, but I will be viewing from the virtual world like many of you out there. But if you can, please go and stop by, say hello, get a chicken parm, and
the
enjoy
bolognese
some draft action.
The bolognese.
Anything you want.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go for it. Yeah, have yourself a good time over there at Enzo's in Hackettstown, and we'll be talking some Devils hockey draft style come this Wednesday. Very excited.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Hockey on Tap will be there as well. Well, I want to thank all those tuning in, dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. Also, NHL Awards tomorrow. Lindy, Nico, and Jack are up for awards. Lady Bing, Selke, and Coach of the Year. Very, very prestigious. I still think Tom Fitzgerald should have been in the running for Executive of the Year for all the moves that. But you know what? He's like, all right, I got work to do this year, so I could be there next year.
It's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just hit the music then.
Final thoughts?
I got one. I have a non-Devils final thought. Pat Maroon today won the Tours National Pro Level Roller Hockey Tournament with the Tour Roadrunners, and had two of the 5 goals that they scored in their 5-1 victory. So, yeah, Pat Maroon, Stanley Cup champion, plays inline hockey still, and was playing with the Tour Roadrunners. So I think that's awesome. So, shout out to roller hockey and Pat Maroon for winning the Tours National Championship today.
Man, that dude wins. He's always in a championship series, one way or another. Man, old Patty Maroon there. Good for him.
Yeah.
I'll close out with. You know what? I'll just close out real quick because I know Sam talked about it on the Woo Report. NHL banning all the specialty jerseys. Holy hell, league! You couldn't have got that more wrong. If a player doesn't want to wear a jersey, then they don't wear it. That's their choice. Media, stop making such a big deal about it. That's where it's all coming from. Clickbait, all those sort of articles. Oh, who's not wearing this jersey? And now all of a sudden, you can't honor anything from the great stuff they do for the military, for Hockey Fights Cancer, for Pride Night, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do. go ahead and do it. If you don't, then just don't wear the freaking jersey. It's really,
It's that
really
simple.
not that hard.
It's that simple.
It's really, and it just sucks because quote unquote hockey is for everybody, but they're going out and they're banning all these jerseys when they really should just, if you don't want to wear it, don't wear it.
Exactly.
Don't do an interview about it. That's all. And the guys who do want to wear it, go ahead and wear it. Not a big deal. Especially
because those jerseys were auctioned off for charity.
Yeah.
At the very end. So that's the thing that's getting lost here is those jerseys were generally auctioned off for charity. So that means that charities are now going to lose out because of this decision. So it sucks.
Yeah. They couldn't have got this one more wrong. So hopefully at some point they realize their wrong ways and they correct that decision. But we'll see. That's my final thought.
My final thought. The Hockey Hall of Fame gets a thumbs down from me. The committee that decides who gets in, who gets inducted. Also, the committee that inducts, the writer, because Stan Fischler, again, gets snubbed. 90 years old, hockey historian.
How is he not in the Hall of Fame?
You know what?
Hockey Hall of Fame.
The only conclusion I have, Shorts guy, it's all politics. It's a club behind the scenes that makes all the decisions. I'm still pissed off at that whole Pat Burns when he was still alive.
Yeah.
And since then,
true.
I've been watching them very closely, the behavior of these voters. And I still, not saying that some of these, the people that got in didn't deserve it. But the Stan Fischler thing is just mind-boggling to me because you can't really make an argument why he shouldn't be. So to ignore it and just, I'm going to raise my voice even louder next season because he's a good friend of the podcast in full disclosure. Stan Fischler, he's been on a couple times. But his coverage of the game dates back to 1949 or 1950, and he's still going. Honestly, I'm going to get myself in trouble by saying this, but all these people are voting a bunch of losers because it's like, why? Like, how do you not?
Yeah.
There's no explanation for it.
I guarantee Stan Fischler has forgotten more about hockey than the three of us combined know about hockey.
Yeah.
I guarantee that. that.
Sometimes when I ask Stan a question, he'll go back to 1953 and just rip off. There were a couple times I actually spoke to Stan Fischler privately, both email and over the phone while he's in Israel, and it's like. He's like better than Google when it comes to hockey historian stuff. So he basically wrote the hockey encyclopedia. But anyway, I should probably keep my mouth shut just because,
No, I think people need. I think someone like him needs an advocate so that we don't have a second Pat Burns situation.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But great points on all three of you for our last thoughts. That was great. Thank you all those tuning in. And more Woo reports this week. And see you on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern from Pasta Grill by Enzo's in beautiful Hackettstown, New Jersey off of Route 57, 1916 Route 57, across the street from Kohl's. Till next time, let's go Devils.